All right. So, welcome everyone to the Herbalist Lounge, April 2026. Still bringing that herbal fire in the fire horse season. Tonight's topic is plant identification. And if you are new, we just ask that you please mute your mic when you are not speaking, and that's simply just to eliminate background noise. Okay. Now, by all means, feel free to unmute yourself. Feel free to chime in and speak. This is not a class. This is not necessarily a workshop. This is a build, a cipher where we come together and share our knowledge about the topic and share our experiences. So we're looking forward to discussing and engaging with everyone. Now, as far as the discussion length, it can be an hour, give or take. We'll see what the flow brings tonight. Okay. So your facilitators for this evening are myself, Martina, aka Mama Okra, and then I also have my two Spice sisters with me this evening. I'll go ahead and pass the mic to them.
Peace, peace. This is Asia. Hope y'all are doing well in this spring season. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
And howdy, y'all. This is Lanita. and
Howdy, Lanita.
had to go straight Texas on you for a minute.
All right. And welcome everyone that is in so far. We appreciate you. We're excited to build and vibe. All right. So before we get started, I want to give thanks. We want to give thanks to the ancestors, the one that paved the way for us, the plancestors that set the stage for our beautiful existence here. As I take a nice breath in, I have to give thanks to our plants as well, just on a deeper level. But guess what? We have something to be very grateful for because guess what today is?
It's our herbiversary.
Hey,
Whoop, whoop.
Herbiversary. Yes, we are celebrating 11 years of Herbalist Lounge, 11 years of building with the herbal community. And wow, it has been a beautiful, beautiful journey. 11 years, we in that gateway, y'all. So this is an honor to be here with you all. Yes, happy birthday to us. All right. So I'm gonna back up real quick over to the celebrating 11 years, and I want to give everyone an opportunity to either chime in by unmuting yourself, or you feel free to use the chat and let us know where are you calling from and what herb are you sipping on tonight, or what herb or plant are you feeling, and what is resonating with you right now. So we're gonna go ahead and give a moment to share and let everyone else just kind of chime in. All right, let's see. So hot. Okay, okay. Let's celebrate. We got the rose wine. Ooh, with rose petals just dripping down, right? I love that. Celebration time. Love it, love it. What herbs are y'all building on or sipping on? Asia, Lanita, are y'all sipping on any herbs at the moment?
I am. I have some lovely almond seed and hibiscus tea right now. And it is so good.
Almond and hibiscus?
Almond seed, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What
You
type of
got the
energy does
tan.
that bring? What kind of energy does the almond seed bring to the hibiscus?
Well, you see, you got them tannins in the almond seeds. And so it kind of, the hibiscus is mucilaginous and juicy and all. And then the almond seed kind of balances that off. So you get a nice blend that it's not too drying from like the almond seed and it's not too juicy from the hibiscus. You get one of each.
Okay. A nice energetically paired combo there. I love it. All right.
Yeah, that is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Over here, I'm not sipping on it yet, but I can say one herb that's been coming through for the family this week is cardamom. It's definitely all this pollen and pine and All this stuff is just out in the air. So I've been making a lot of cardamom tea because it really helps with the digestion, decongesting. So it gives a little bit of relief and it tastes good and it smells good. And then it come out in your pores, it smells good too. So yeah, that's what I'm feeling right now.
And some places they use cardamom just as a breath freshener. They just chew on the cardamom seed pods, and it does taste good.
Hmm. Yeah, for sure. I even been giving the baby some. So yeah.
Okay, nice. Well, Angelita says finger lime water. That sounds delicious. I love a nice citrus water. Um, and I'm over here. I got a little bit of coconut water just to kind of because I feel a little dehydrated. It's the temperature has been heating up, and working outside in the sun, sweating a lot. I wanted to make sure I replenish myself, but right before I got on the call, I actually was telling Asia while we were doing some figuring out our technical we were solving technical issues and we collaborated and came through. I was making skullcap and passion flower tea. So, yes, I'm looking to ease into this evening after our birthday celebration and I'm looking forward to it. Oh, and I put a nice cinnamon stick in there as well. So, cinnamon, passion flower, and skullcap. So, yeah, you guys already know what time it is a little bit later on tonight. All right. Sahad says I got some black seed bitters and lavender tea. Ooh. Ooh, Asia, do you want some of that?
You speaking my language, Sahat, right now.
Love it. Love it. All right, guys. So tonight's topic is plant identification. Plant identification. So what is that? What is the significance of plant identification to you all, for us? And if you look at this lovely photo we have here, we have a ton of different plant families. Not all of them by any means, but we got a lot of different plant families. Do we have any favorite plant families or plant families that we feel very comfortable or confident in? Or, yeah.
My favorite plant family is the mint family because you got everything you could possibly need in there. It covers a lot of different things, and the best part about it is most of them taste really good. So if you have good taste and effectiveness, that's a win-win situation.
Okay. That's true. There's so many plants in the in the mint family. One of them I'm sipping on right now is skullcap. So you got all kinds of stuff in there. Aromatics, sedatives, you name it. It's good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Lemon balm. Oof. You know what? I might have to co-sign with you, Lanita. I love mint
Mm-hmm.
family too, but
Mm-hmm.
I can't I'm gonna put it number two to my number one plant family, which is the mallow. We already know it's the mallow family, Mama Okra over here. So I like my moistening, juicy herbs and plants. Come on, what else is in the mallow family? None other than our lovely hibiscus. Come on now. What would I be without hibiscus?
and our mullein and okra, all of the good juicy stuff.
Yeah, we got to stay hydrated over here. So
Yep.
that's one of my top ones. And cotton's also in the mallow family, and cotton has a lot of different therapeutic properties, but the leaves actually do have that mucilaginous component and characteristic to it. And that's what's so exciting about learning about plant families. Some of them you just like, what? They're related? They cousins? What? That's interesting. Cotton and hibiscus? Then you start seeing those patterns and that family resemblance, and it starts making sense. So yeah. What about y'all? What about you, Asia? What's your favorite? Sahar or Angelita? Do y'all have a favorite plant family or want to
Yeah.
learn more about one?
I mean, y'all hit those right on the head. We talk about a lot of mallow family plants, and a lot of people recognize the mint family. And as you can see on that picture, the Asteraceae family. So, we get some mixed views on that one, but I love those too because in that family, there's also a lot of nice showy flowers. So of course we have like our sunflowers, which is one of the most popular, out of the Asteraceae family. So, and then like for healing, echinacea. So, I mean, it's like asking all of us what's our favorite herb. It all of them.
Correct answer. Ding, ding, ding. Yeah, because come to think of it, I also love the rose family.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. The Fabaceae, which is the pea family, right? Isn't that the pea family? There's a lot of great stuff in there. Mm-hmm. Okay. Good stuff. Good stuff. So, are we aware that there are plant families? Sahat, Angelita, what are some of y'all favorite plant families of plants? Ooh, onion family. Okay. That's a good one. That's a really good one.
They taste real good.
Mm-hmm.
And again, these are like when I think of the onion family, I think of flavoring. I also think of medicinal, and those are twofold. I like when you get a bargain with a plant, and in the onion family, you can get some really good antibacterial, antimicrobial, and it helps with cough and all of these different things. And like I said, it tastes good too. So that makes it even better.
Mm-hmm. You gotta love that. I love your and they're such culinary plants. You have them in the kitchen. It's stuff that we're familiar with. And when I think about healing, like kitchen healing, kitchen medicine, onion families are some of my first go-tos. Some of the first things I think about, right? Like, whew, that allium family, garlic. Yes, leeks, chives, thank you. Yes, all that. Okay. So Sahat says, "Ooh, okay. So I'm gonna pronunciate this. Y'all ready? The I'm just gonna say Buttercup family because Sahat being fancy over here. Not the Reese's peanut butter cup, but the Buttercup family, Sahat. The Ranu family. Oh my goodness, these names are always just like really fun, and I'm always murdering the names. Help us all. But okay, do you have a specific plant or in that family? There are so many to choose from. Okay, buttercup and black seed. Cool. All right. Nice, nice. Good.
Enlighten me. Is black seed, because when I think of black seed, I think of what are those little things? The black sesame seed, but black seed is not black sesame seed. It's another completely different plant, right?
The black cumin.
Oh, black seed is black cumin.
Mm-hmm. The
Ah,
Nigella sativa plant. Mm-hmm. And
educate me. Okay.
and you know what? This is what we had when it reminds me of when we were over in whatchamacallit in Morocco.
Morocco.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You powdered it and sniffed it right up. Herbalist Lounge After Dark.
Yeah.
Confessions of an herbalist. Hey, but she did pair it with menthol crystals, which sounds even
There you
crazier,
go.
y'all. But I will tell you, okay, so one thing I love about Lanita is always gonna have these unorthodox administering ways because her background is pharmacy. So when you talk about different ways, you always talk about like snuffing the herbs or administering, down there below. But it's important to know these different methods because sometimes that's what's needed,
Right.
to get the job done. But did your airways open up when you did that?
Woo! Yes. What you say? Like I saw fairies.
Like Sahat would say, yeah, we saw fairies. Hey, I didn't see fairies. No fair. I'm tired of everyone talking about fairies. It's my turn to see some fairies. It's our birthday. I need to be seeing fairies right now. I should have made a stronger batch of this The skull cap. Oh my goodness. Um, what was I gonna say here? So yeah, the black seed, that's some good stuff. And for the people just chiming in, welcome to the Herbalist Lounge. We're here talking about some of our favorite plant families, some of which is hard to choose. So if you feel, go ahead and chime on in and let us know what your favorite plant is, or your favorite plant family, what herb you're working with right now, where a plant that's resonating with you. All right. So what else are we thinking about with plant ID? Because for me, it's one of the most exciting things about just connecting with your environment, with the plants. It's like when you get to know somebody, when you really get to know someone on a deeper level, they can be disguised, they can have a hoodie, and you're like, I know that's Asia walking right there. I know she got that cloak on, or Sahat has that cloak, but I can tell by the way you move, by the way you groove, by the way you step, that's a specific individual. And for me, that's how plant identification is. It for me, it's kind of like one of the foundations of herbalism, just really getting to know the plant in its different phases before it starts to flower, looking at those leaves, those first few shoots that start to pop up, those characteristics all through its entire life cycle, right? So
Another thing is that this little chart that we have up, they have these Latin names on here. And the reason that it's important to know the Latin names is because um, one plant can have a different name depending on where you are. So one that Martina talks about all the time is tuna. And I'm thinking, what are we talking about? Fish, but she's talking about tuna. And tuna in Jamaica is completely different. In the US, we call it a cactus or nopales, but they call it tuna in Jamaica. And if a person that travels, not even outside of the country, even inside the country, you can find plants, the same plant that has many different names. So if you can get to the Latin name, or if you can get to, its government name, that's a way to know for sure what plant you have. And for me, traveling, when I'm in Senegal, they'll tell me the name of a plant in Wolof. I got to change it from Wolof to French. I got to change it from French to Latin. And then once I get to the Latin, I can tell what it is, if it's something that I can recognize or what family it's in. And sometimes you don't get the exact name of the plant, but even knowing the family, you have some ideas of what properties that plant might have.
mm-hmm. That's a really good point. And speaking of tuna in Jamaica versus here, the cactus, nopales, another big herb that I had a personal experience with was when I was pregnant with my second daughter in Jamaica. During my pregnancy, I would take dandelion leaf, in the aster family, what we call dandelion here in the Americas, but in Jamaica, there's a plant or an herb called dandelion, and the nickname, another common name for it, is pissabed. And I mean, which that also gives you insight to some of its therapeutic and applications, right? But this is not the aster family one. This is actually a part of the senna family, and it's contraindicated during pregnancy. So good thing I had that knowledge. And of course, you just want to be mindful when pregnant, or just be mindful in general, right? So it was a really good conversation to talk about Taraxacum officinalis, which is dandelion here, and then the senna species in Jamaica, which they call dandelion. But yeah, that's a really good point. So two completely different plant families, aster families, which are like one of the largest plant families. I can't recall. I think it's like, if I remember reading a long time ago, and I don't know, maybe things have changed because, we're always learning new from nature. It's one of the largest plant families, only second to, I can't remember, was it lily or orchids or something? I don't know. Someone chime in and whatnot, but it's a big family. Um, you know, with sunflowers. And one thing that attracted to me about dandelions was when I found out for the first time that sunflowers, dandelions. Give me some more aster family plants. Chamomile, what else? Black-eyed Susan, echinacea, all these plants. That one flower head that you see is actually several flower heads, several flowers in that Fibonacci spiral just intertwined in the center. And the closest thing I can relate to usually when I'm speaking to people are sunflower seeds, because if you ever harvested sunflower seeds, you can see that beautiful spiral of all those seeds. Well, every single one of those seeds was an individual flower in that flower head, right? Which is so amazing. And that's what it's about for me, recognizing those patterns, seeing how it communicates, looking at the different ways the leaves and whatnot branch off, for example. So yeah. Yes.
So also, like with these flowers, I was looking for my book. I probably put it in a special place and now I can't find it. So I could give y'all the title if I remember it. But there is a specific book on plant identification and being able to identify the plant based on the flower, or just even just the plant family. So sometimes, we see hundreds of plants a day, if not thousands of plants a day, depending on where we are, right? And so sometimes you might not see like a rose, but you might see, flowers that look similar to the rose pattern. So it's beneficial when you're trying to identify, you know, plants and you're able to see the flower, if it's flowering, then you can say, oh yeah, this is very similar to this other plant, or this is very similar to this other flower here. This has 5 petals, just like this other flower has 5 petals, and they're opposite, or they're arranged in a certain way. So, and that's how that early classification from Linnaeus happened. That's how he was classifying these families here, is based on their flowers.
So we talked about a few things as far as how we identify plants, how we connect with plants. I just right now I want to strip away all of this plant families, Latin names, and I want to take it back to my childhood and just think about like when you're interacting in your environment and you see certain plants. And are there any plants that you guys all remember maybe from your childhood? For me, there's a plant that really sticks out. And we used to make like stone soup, and we would collect little things and sticks and flowers and put it together. And this plant was lantana. So lantana was one of those plants. Dandelion, right? Yeah. And we used to just pick it apart. And there was this succulent in Southern California. We had these succulents, and we would take the pads, we would take the leaves, the juicy leaves, and we would write with it on the sidewalk. And we would do like tic-tac-toe and stuff like that. So these connections start from just like as soon as we're engaged with our environment, and it brings up like childhood memories. Like Asia, you just said dandelions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, before I even knew what dandelions, that they were dandelions, like we recognized them when they were in seed, when we would blow and make a wish, or even like the clover, we would be out there trying to find a 4-leaf clover. So we recognize those, the clovers, not for their flowers, but actually for their leaves. So those were little early games of plant identification that we didn't realize, but yeah, it was cool.
Ours were tying daisies together to make the little headband like Mother Nature on that butter commercial. You tie the flowers together and make a little crown. That was a big thing. And like you say, Asia, blowing the dandelions and watching them float away. Mm-hmm.
Shoot, I still be doing that now.
Or my favorite thing is if you don't know a plant, you pull it off and hand it to your spice sister and say, "Hold this for me while I figure out what it is."
And if you're taking pictures for your friends, and I can't tell you, people be sending me photos, and I'm just like, are you serious? I can't tell what that is. How many of y'all ever get photos like that? Like, they'll send me a photo, and I'm just like, are you kidding me? Can we get a little closer, please?
Right.
Not you, Lanita. You be going in. You'll even tell me what it tastes like. Next thing you know, we're identifying, oh, this is poison ivy. Remember that story of you and I in the woods? Yeah. I thought about you the other day.
Yeah. Or you get that picture and they're like, what is this? And it has like 5, 10 plants in it. It's like the picture of a yard. Like,
which one?
There's so many. They're all talking to me.
Oh, too funny. Sahad says dandelions for sure to blow them in the wind, and cherry blossom trees, especially when they bloom. Angelita says, love hair wreaths. That does sound fun. I think I might just do that with my daughters this weekend. Like, ooh, let's go. My big one might be like, oh my gosh, there might be an insect crawling out of there or something. But hey, we're gonna have a magical time. I love it.
You know, you mentioned cherry blossoms, and in the, I don't know if it's difference in the region or not, but I noticed that up north you'll see the cherry blossom trees, but in the south the dogwood trees look just like the the cherry blossom trees, and also the peach trees. But I love to see dogwoods when they first start blooming, those really pretty flowers.
And I think that's like another thing to be aware of when it comes to identification is those seasonal cycles, right? So depending on your region, like you guys are talking about dogwoods and cherry trees, like I absolutely do not see those down here in Florida. It's a whole different thing that we see. But absolutely, like when up in the Northeast, or I love driving to the Carolinas, because oh my goodness, you start really seeing those different changes and those different trees with the beautiful colors. So yeah, that really hits home thinking about those seasons, especially living in New York City, coming from like a really cold climate in January and February to the first little specks of spring. And you, like Asia said, you start seeing those little clovers pop up and you're like, oh, 3-leaf, 4-leaf clovers and stuff. But before I even knew they were clovers, I remembered seeing just the leaves and recognizing those patterns. So yeah, it's very nostalgic when it comes to seasonal ties and plant identification.
Also, I think it's important when you are trying to identify plants to have an idea in mind. Why are you trying to identify them? Are you just trying to identify them just, for knowledge, for the sake of knowledge, because they look good? Or are you planning on trying to eat some of these? Are you going to use them for medicine? Are you going to use them for dyeing? What's the purpose of the flower? Because if you just want to identify something because it looks good or because you want to know what it is, there's nothing, you can't go wrong with that. You can't get hurt with that. But if you are planning on eating them or using it as, as a medicinal, it's very important that you get that identification correct, because there are a lot of lookalikes that can be, very hazardous to your health. So that's important. The use of the plant before you when you're identifying, what are you going to use it for?
That's really important because that just kind of blends into like the thought of foraging. We're identifying, when you start identifying plants, like especially in your own immediate environment, you become like the expert in your immediate environment. And we start learning if it's invasive, if it's not invasive, if it's a protected plant or something that we shouldn't be messing with at all, right? Or this is an important pollinator plant, or it's an important species for an endangered keystone species, for example. So identifying plants, like you just said, it brings on a whole bunch of other things of ethics and responsibility, especially if you're looking to ingest it for yourself or somebody else. So that's a good point. Oh yeah, Asia, botany and day. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, I love that book. It makes it so easy, and it just breaks it down.
Mm-hmm. So if you're looking for like a book that has that talks about plant identifications and the pattern method, that book Botany in a Day is pretty cool. And it also has a what is it? Those like a little card game where you can play it with anybody. You have like the different cards, different plants, and you can kind of match them. It reminds me of Match, or you can just play all kinds of different little games, but it's a educational game and makes it fun. So they have a few other little cool things. And Angelita says we have our sour orange blossoms, which are neroli and smell wonderful in the spring. The flowers for perfume, the oranges for medicine and marinades. Oh my goodness, that sounds so amazing. Yes, yes, that's what I think about in Florida. We got the varieties of citrus. And when I tell you citrus flowers, citrus blooms are some of the most amazing smells to me. Ooh, yeah.
I think jasmine is my best. I love jasmine when it rains. Just everything smells so good.
Yes. Jasmine is really nice. We have one down here called, it's not a true jasmine, but it smells very similar to it. It's Confederate jasmine. It's a which I don't whatever, but there's some other names too. I had to slow
Was that
myself
a
down. Wait,
Robert
hold
E.
up.
Lee
We gonna
brother
go ahead and name
jasmine?
it windy jasmine, okay? But because it's a vine, Confederate jasmine. Hold up now. Wait a minute.
Confederate.
I don't know about that. See, this is why common names versus scientific names, but there's a lot of different. I think it's also called star jasmine. But it smells so good, Lenita. You are
Yeah.
like right on with that. And it's funny because they bloom the same time that the citrus blooms. Oh, pinwheel jasmine. That's the one I'm talking about. The pinwheel jasmine. There you go. I like pinwheel better than
The
Confederate.
Confederate.
You
Yeah.
know. Thank you, thank you. Okay. I'm gonna go to the next slide here because it is another aspect of plant identification and a big one because let's face it, some plants they flower very often throughout the year, but with a lot of species, they only flower during certain times and that's it. Other than that, they have the leaves. The leaves are prevalent and the leaves can tell us a lot of things and there's a lot of cool patterns. So if you just look at this here, you can get used to the shapes of leaves, the margins, like the outer edge. Are they smooth, serrated, like a knife? The veins on a leaf, the venation. So,
Oh, I didn't know. I was just about to say that. What about the veins? I didn't know venation. Okay, learned a new word today.
venation.
Okay.
Longitudinal. I can't add it. It must be the skull cap because I feel like everything I'm saying is slurring right now. Y'all forgive me. But this is
I got you chopped and screwed. Sorry.
yeah, I'm chopped and screwed tonight. One of my students today told me their daddy's Paul Wall. I was like, I don't know about that. On a side note, anyways. Oh, so Asia said honeysuckle is another flower that I remember. Yes, that's a good one. Did you used to suck the little bloom?
Yeah, we used to do that.
Mhm. Yeah, and it just really smelled good. I still love that smell to this day. To this day.
Yeah, but bees like them too.
They do.
Also,
Also
a
to
lot of
this
bees
day.
around them.
There was something I was going to say on the nation. I really every time I look at broadleaf plantain, it just really reminds me of the nation because it has those. Oh, I can't see it right now. It's the sixth picture going in, but it has those parallel lines going up. Yeah, and so it's so strong on that plant, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. I have that same affinity when I see plantain, and I'm discovering new varieties of plantain lately. And when I was out here in the wetlands, I saw the smallest, the tiniest looking plantain plant. And I was like, is this plantain? And I looked at it, it was so small. But once again, I looked at the leaves and it had those parallel lines going straight up and down. I was like, and it made me feel so confident. I'm like, this is absolutely plantain. And then I used my phone to look at the app and it confirmed it. Because usually before the app, I'm like, let me check this out. Because sometimes the app is like 50-50. But I was like, this is I forgot what it was called. It was some type of small species of a plantain. So yeah. Parallel venation. And then this is really good because there's a lot of lookalikes out there.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people get confused with certain plants. And this is really important. Also, is it a lot of times things are plants versus shrubs versus trees, and being able to identify that helps out as well. So
I feel like a lot of the plants in the Asteraceae family, like the daisies and the dandelions, and some of those can look really very similar. And so you really have to look at the leaves to be able to tell what it is. So,
And out here, I have a lot of trees. And, there's sometimes if you look at the leaves or the needles on the trees, they look very similar. But if you look at the bark, you can tell the difference. Like we have juniper trees, which is called red cedar, but it's not, it's different. The juniper and the regular cedar are different, but you can look at the bark of the cedar tree and it's completely different than the bark on the juniper tree. Or if you rub the leaves on the cedar tree and smell your fingers, you get that cedar smell, as opposed to rubbing the leaves, getting the oils from the leaves on your hands, and you get that juniper smell. So sometimes you look at different things on different plants depending on what you're looking for.
ooh, that's a really good point. So now we're moving beyond just the plant family patterns, the leaf shape and the margins, venation. What else did we say? Flowers. Now we're talking
Mm-hmm.
about the smell of it. That's a really good point because we have the elder trees are blooming abundantly right now. And
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people always ask me what's the difference between the elder flowers or the poison hemlock, because they
Mm-hmm.
both have that umbel plant pattern, right? And you do not want to mix it up with water hemlock or poison hemlock, because that's a whole other story, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But outside the fact that they're herbaceous, they're not trees or shrubs like elders.
Mm-hmm.
Elders have that aromatic smell to it, where the hemlocks don't. Not to say you want to leave that alone. There's other things too, but smell can really, really help as well. So that's a really, really good one. And I don't know about y'all, but a lot of times when I see like dill and fennel and you got a bunch of herbs, and sometimes it can be confusing. I just rub the leaves and smell it. Ooh, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's dill, or oh, that's basil. Because there's a lot of varieties of basil, for heaven's sakes. Like basil, there's
Mm-hmm.
so many. So yeah, smell is a really good one.
And you mentioned hemlock, which that is confused by many people with Queen Anne's lace,
Yep.
with yarrow. They see just the little umbel of flowers and say, "Oh yeah, this is that," and then it's not.
Right. And they say with Queen Anne's lace, you got that tiny purple center flower. But at the
Which
end of the
I've never
day,
seen.
right? I'm like, at the end of the day, yeah, you probably want to go ahead and if you don't know, you better ask somebody. At the end of the day,
Mhm.
that's gonna be your best bet.
Mhm.
Oh my goodness. Um, Now you got me thinking about pokeweed and
Mhm.
pokeweed and beautyberry. And those are plants that I see so often before they even start flowering. I can recognize them through their patterns and stuff too. Because just because, you see them so often, but There are a
And
lot of lookalikes.
the one thing, Martina, you just mentioned the poke, and well, like the poke salad. When you're identifying plants, it's one thing just to know what it is. It's also, if you're harvesting, to know when to harvest and when not to harvest. Because if you are out harvesting poke, which is the first big green that comes up in the spring, when it's green, it's great. You know, you can eat it. But when it starts turning red, then you want to stay away from it, you know, to kind of avoid that. Also, we have the same with the curly dock out here, the curly dock, yellow dock, some of it called bitter dock. But when it starts turning red, leave it alone. So knowing when to harvest if you're, you know, harvesting plants out.
No, that's a good point, because with plant ID, it's back to those seasonal cycles again. It's plant IDs is relationship over time, because they change and evolve, right? Where
Right.
you got annual things that have one growing season and then it goes to seed and that's it, versus plants with longer growing seasons, and you kind of know, okay, like mullein, we have a species of mullein out here, not the fluffy one. And what's the Latin name for mullein? Verbascum thapus. The one that we have here is, the common name is twiggy mullein. It's twiggy mullein, and I see it all over, but it has very smooth leaves, and it threw me off because it had that spike of flowers. It had the ID, you know, as far as it's spiraling up. It was a biannual. It would shoot up. It would shoot up the second year, the second growing season, and had that basal rosette at the base of it. But I was like, this isn't mullein. It's not fluffy. It's not nature's toilet paper. But then when I started looking into it, it was just a different species of it, or whatnot. So yeah, knowing those different
You were right.
cycles.
It's verbascum.
Verbascum. Verbascum thapus.
Mhm.
And you had some out there on Blackland Ranch, I
Mhm.
remember. Yeah, that was some good stuff. I still use the flowers on the twiggy mullein for like the ear oil, and
Mhm.
you know, so, but the leaves, like I said, aren't as fluffy. Okay. Good stuff.
One plant that we have out here, I love it. It's called, well, the common name is heel all, but we have a herbal shop inside Dallas, and I went to buy heel all, and luckily I knew the Latin name of my heel all, which is Prunella vulgaris, but the other heel all had a different Latin name. And in Senegal, they have a heel all that has another Latin name. So it's real important, you know, people think, even if you can't pronounce it, if you just know, you know, what it looks like, know that what the name looks like, is very helpful for you.
You know what? You're right about that, because sometimes when I
Mm-hmm.
see a plant for the very first time, I just know it's that plant. Has that ever happened to
Mm-hmm.
anybody else? I'm like, I
Mm-hmm.
know what that is, and I get so excited. Or is that just like the herb plant nerd in me? Is that just a few people? Are y'all feeling that too? Let us know,
Like
please.
good company. hmm And Lanita, that's a good point that you bring up too. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we have to bring in all of our senses, and we've already kind of talked about it, but not like, you know, specifically like
Mm-hmm.
what does it look like? What does it smell like? What does it taste like? Apparently, it tastes real good because my dog is here. What does it feel like? So all of your senses, you know, you bring it into it, because one slight thing, like you were talking about the mullein, you know, okay, is this type of mullein? Maybe not, you know, because it doesn't feel like this. Or is this dandelion root? Or, you know, because it doesn't taste so bitter. Like, is this really what it is? So yeah, all of that comes into play when we're talking about identification and where it grows too, right?
Mm-hmm.
hmm So if you know something grows, you know, in you know, watery conditions, then you know maybe you're not going to find it on the mountaintop where it's dry in the desert, right? So we have to consider all of those things.
Yep, that's another big thing. Environment. That's a good one right there.
But like Martina, you are from a place with a moist climate. And here in Texas, especially in the summer, is really dry. And we were out walking on the nature trail and the creek bed was dry. But Martina said, no, no, that's, and you were saying it was some type of water plant from that you've seen in Florida that you recognize it. And so, you know, of course, we pull out our apps and identify it, and she was right. But I was like, that can't grow here. We don't have no water. But it did. It does grow here because
It
in the
was the
spring we
oats.
put,
I
yeah,
remember. You just
the sea
activated a
oats.
memory. Yeah, you just
Yeah.
activated a dormant memory. Thank you.
That's what it was. Sea oats.
It was, yeah, I remember that. That was interesting. Um, And environment is important to think about because out
Mm.
here we got all kinds of ecosystems. We do have a lot of wetlands, and people are really familiar with the wetlands, but I've been introduced more recently to our scrub environment, our Florida scrub environment, which is pretty interesting. And it has a lot of drought tolerant plants here. And what I find is, you know, they grow in very nutrient poor sandy soils, and they've adapted to do that over millennia, over millions of years, apparently. But nutrient poor soil, but they also develop a big profile, I found, in like different chemicals for protection and defense and to help them adapt to those harsh climates. So they're very interesting plants. And then also outside of the Florida scrub, plants in the coastal regions like the mangroves that grow in the salt water, they have a lot of cool adaptations that allow them to, they have a interesting chemical profile because of their adaptations in their environment. But yeah, environment plays a huge role. And the same plants in different environments can kind of have a different morphology, I'd say. Would you guys say that? Because,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you see the pattern, but it's like, ooh, it's just like me. You put me in a cold environment, I'm gonna be looking busted. You know, I'm gonna be like, or when I went to California and I'm not used to it, although I was born there way back in the days, I go there now and my skin gets dry. My skin
Mm-hmm.
gets so dry and cracked. And I'm like, yo, what is this? I'm used to this Florida humidity, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's exactly how it is. Yep. Those same patterns we see in ourselves are in plants.
And
Yep.
sometimes you're talking about the plants that grow, you know, that are drought tolerant, that'll grow in a zero scape. I love the zero scapes that they do out west. And sometimes those plants also are nitrogen fixing, or they help to put nutrients back in the soil. So if you're gardening, if you're trying to, if you have a garden, you know, in your backyard and you have poor soil, you might look at some of those plants that grow in challenging conditions, and you might want to put some in your garden because they may help it grow.
Mm-hmm. That's true. And Sahat says, I like how sunflowers can remove radioactive contaminants. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we were looking at that because it was something else. I think, is it goldenrod? Because I know here I have a lot of goldenrod, and I was in Chicago and I saw goldenrod everywhere, and I was grabbing it, and my cousin was like, you don't want to you don't want to use that because there's so many contaminants there. They put the goldenrod out there to try to cleanse the soil, to try to cleanse the area from all of the pollution that's there. So the plant is absorbing all of those negative things in the space. So yeah, they do have plants that fix the soil.
Yep, they use it for bioremediation. Um, we were looking at some different types of fungus that actually eat away plastics.
Ooh,
And
that'd be great.
they have a 3D printer at our school, but and it's really cool. But it's so horrible when you think about the environment. It's like you're making all these little knickknacks, little plastic knickknacks. You can make whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
You put your mind to. But think of all that plastic waste. So we were looking to collaborate with the agri-science department and their department and kind of do some type of thing where we do bioremediation, which would be kind of interesting, you know? But the type of fungus that actually does it was challenging to facilitate that for now. But yeah, there are different types of fungus and that do eat away different things. So nature is definitely it's herbalism not just for us, but definitely for the earth and the planet too. So all right. Any other thoughts or questions or scenarios that pop up when it comes to plant identification? So far, the bill has been beautiful. We've come up with a lot of different things this time around. Okay.
Oh, I just looked at Sahat's chat and I thought about it when I was in Germany. They had all these huge sunflowers everywhere. They had planted them in the parks. They were painting them on the side of buildings. And it's because somehow they have killed all the bees and they were trying to bring bees back into Frankfurt. And so they planted all these sunflowers to bring the bees back. And when I saw the sunflowers, it sounded like the sunflowers were singing. It was all bzzz in there. So they really did, they were effective in helping to bring the bees back. But they had this whole ad campaign about bringing bees back to Frankfurt. And the sunflowers was one of the plants that they were using to bring them back.
Yeah, I remember you mentioning that. That's cool.
Uh-huh.
All right.
So identifying our plants is great, knowing what the uses may be for. Like I said, seeing the goldenrod and knowing, yeah, it's pretty, is great, but you can't use that. These are also important things to know when you're out identifying your plants.
Absolutely, because it's not just about us.
Right.
The world doesn't revolve around us. It's like, for example, you just mentioned pollinators. And with little children, my daughter would always pick flowers. Here you go, mommy. And then you're like, if you love the flower, you don't pick it. And they're like, forget that. Next thing you know, they picking it behind it. Mommy didn't like my gift, but but it's true. And sometimes we just got to think about that because you got to think about the pollinators. You got to think about, oh no, this is kind of helping out with some of this, toxic stuff that's in the area. So plant identification is just it's looking at the lay of the land and just paying attention to everything, like what Asia said earlier, just how it relates right back to us as well, like how we're all part of this bigger picture. So yeah. Okay, so before we ease out, I was thinking, what are some good tools? Because I know we mentioned some good tools. So we mentioned the book, which was Botany in a Day. We mentioned a couple of plant identification apps. I know the one that I use is iNaturalist. Are there any other tools that people are using that they would like to share that are beneficial or useful for them in identifying plants accurately?
I like Picture This.
Picture This. Okay.
Yeah. And the thing about Picture This is if they identify the plant wrong and you actually know what it is, that's how you know they're wrong. You can put it in and they will verify that plant is, and then they will fix that. So the next time you see that plant, it identifies it correctly.
Nice. Okay.
Oh, and a knife. I have a pocket knife everywhere I go. Don't leave home without it.
OJ, let me stop.
Propagate, don't hate.
Oh my gosh, I don't know where that came from. My herbal Tourette's is kicking in tonight. We just talking about plant identification. Shoot. Okay.
Oh yeah, the magnifying. Yeah, that's cool.
Angelita, you on the same stuff I'm on. Yes. Machete in the car. That's what I'm talking about.
OJ, Florida style, not this way. Well, I have a butter knife now. Let me stop. Uh,
Or,
no.
shears, clipping shears, small little ones. They work too.
Yeah, those are all really good tools. I don't always have baskets in my car, but sometimes when I do, I'm happy because I'm like, or like little paper bags or just something that I can have, cloth bags or something. Because when you see stuff, you're like, okay, you know, so it's nice to have something to collect things in.
And on your phone, you can have, I have a magnifying lens on my phone. So, like, you're looking at a plant and you can't see which direction the veins are going in, you can magnify it and you can see it really close. And also, a flashlight is good to have with you. So, you can have those are things that you can have right there on your cell phone.
Oh, and that's true. And gloves.
Mm-hmm.
Gloves are really good because, them little pricklies. Even when I'm picking radishes, like right now we got a bunch of radishes and the leaves are prickly. And here I am I need to touch the soil, touch the earth. Meanwhile, I'm over here with splinters and stuff.
Well, see, I never leave home without my Walmart bags. Those the little plastic bags that you get in the store can be very useful for picking up stuff with, be it dead animals or prickly pear. But it's good to
Meanwhile.
have those with you all the time too.
And yes, Lanita did say dead animals, but we're gonna keep it moving. I don't know if we're gonna talk about that right now.
Look, I ain't trying to say nothing, but she talk about that, and I'm talking about bring offerings. So sometimes this is alive.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. This is the Herbalist Lounge. Mm-hmm. But yes, that is so important to bring offerings. So important, right?
Yes.
Because I'd be like, "Ooh, I gotta use my hair clipping. I'm over here using so many pieces of my hair. I'm not gonna have any more." But yeah.
You also can use urine too.
Mm-hmm. You can use all kinds of stuff.
So good stuff.
A tooth? No, let me stop. I can't afford that, but yeah, Angelita says a towel in case you see a snapping turtle crossing the road. Yes, I love it. Oh, and Sahat's like taxidermy. Sahat, you can call Anita later on and y'all can have a conversation about that off the books. I don't think this is going to be publicly. We don't even know what you're talking about. What was that? We're going to clip that piece out. Anyways.
Not publicly endorsed taxidermy.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness. All right. Yeah, these are all really good things. Towels, because a towel can be used like as gloves if you don't have that. Scissors, all these little things. Baskets, plastic. Let's be real. Oh yes, I have my hand woven my pine needle basket. No, I got a Walmart bag that I just had. We're about to use it. So you know what I'm saying? Whatever you have, let's upcycle it and make it purposeful. So I love that.
And the towel also can come in handy if you're in places where it's kind of high and you get one of the Slytherins coming through. You can throw the towel on top of the snake's head until you can get away from it. So,
oh, that's a good thing. Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Lucky me, I'd probably miss.
It'll be way on the other side. Oh,
Don't get that towel. Go.
Don't worry, I'll pick it up for you.
Oh my goodness. All right, y'all. So study local plants, insects, and animals. Just get to know the lay of the land. And you can't leave this out when you start looking at, and we already brought this up. You start identifying plants, you're going to start identifying insects, reptiles, everything, because they're all out there, right? So good stuff. Good stuff.
That's right. Insects and birds too. All of the
yeah.
pollinators. Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right,
Ooh,
guys.
that's so pretty.
What is that, Asia? Is that some type of beetle? I can't remember.
Oh yeah, I got it on the bottom. The Delta.
Delta flower
I
beetle.
think that skull cap's working real good because I didn't even see it at the bottom.
So I say that skull cap push your skull back. So I believe him.
Oh yeah. That thing's looking real magical right now on that flower. Ooh, yeah, I need to lay back a little bit for this closing, but
Wait, so how, before we go, tell me the name of that mushroom again that makes you see little people.
The green.
I've been trying to find the name of that.
Lanita's trying to find it every day. Please tell her. Oh. So while he's working on getting us the name of that mushroom,
Yeah.
does anyone have any upcoming events going on? Upcoming events in your area. If you have anything, we feel free to share. We'd love to support. Our next upcoming event is next month, second Monday of the month, of course. Every second Monday of the month, Herbalist Lounge. The Hot says, I want a Herbalist Lounge cartoon like Magic School Bus where y'all take us on journeys into the plant kingdom. Okay.
Love that.
God, you don't want to be on journeys with us.
My students say I'm like Miss Frizzle. I don't know if it's the way I dress or if it's my personality, but then I look at them and I say, if I was Miss Frizzle, would you guys go to Uranus and back on this school bus with me? Would you trust me? They're like, oh, whoa. They'll go anywhere to get away from the school day. Believe me, I'm like, me too. Let's go.
Look,
yeah,
oh, go ahead, Lanita.
No, I was just gonna say when the three of us get together, you don't know what it may happen. It's an adventure every time.
Yeah, it's we didn't even put that picture. We should have put that picture with the three of us. Yeah.
I love that picture.
Y'all are always invited to the Herbalist Lounge Little Magic School. And look, and on board, we're gonna have some Lanamoa Asiatica.
Yeah,
it's Asiatica. That's Asia. Oh, Polynesian. Lanamoa Asiatica. Uh-oh.
Sound like Pele wants some too.
I was just gonna add one event. Sorry, the dogs are barking. This is not my event. It's the Lavender Festival. It's up here in Washington, July 17th through the 19th. I will be there for sure. So if y'all can, let me know.
Super awesome. I know you're looking forward to that. That's like having a bitter festival. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Bunch of resting bitter face people. Now let me stop. Nice. When is that again?
July 17th through the 19th.
Okay. Awesome.
I would come just to see what folks are gonna be wearing, because you know they're gonna be wearing them flower dresses and them big straw hats. I think that's gonna be more fun than looking at the flowers.
You know, I must say it was quite interesting because when I went to the Tulip Festival, by the way, if y'all are in the area, there's a Tulip Festival happening all this month. So you got about 2 weeks left. But most people were wearing boots like this.
Oh.
I'm like, okay, all right. y'all be hiking. I like it. I might be wearing boots.
Yeah.
All right. And speaking of lavender, if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's at Herbalist Lounge. We have a lot of cool videos such as lavender flower syrup, foraging elderberries and elder tree tidbits, making black-eyed Susan tincture, and so much more. And of course, all of our Herbalist Lounge videos that we do are recorded and posted on our YouTube channel. So if you missed it, you can go ahead and get the playback. If you want to go ahead and listen to it in the car and play it back again and listen, or share it with one of your plant-loving friends, feel free to do so. Okay. Yes. Thank you, Angelita, for joining us. We appreciated it. And yes, Sahat, not only are you getting tickets to the Bitter Festival, you are probably going to be part of co-facilitating it because we are manifesting it right now. And Asia is going to be our guest of honor.
We're gonna have a honey booth.
Also, Kitchen Medicine Making Workshop is a 2-day, it was a 2-day live workshop that we held back in 2022. So if you are interested in wanting to learn more about making remedies with things that you would find in your kitchen, this is the workshop for you. You can go ahead, we'll put the link in the chat where you can go ahead and purchase it or share it with someone that you may think may be interested. But when I tell you all, we had a really fun 2-day live virtual workshop. You get the recording, there's a workbook, there are additional recipes, and Lanita, myself, Martina, and Asia, we all three share some very unique kitchen medicine remedies, all the way from mushroom broths to syrups, popsicles, poultices, compresses, and everything else in between. So definitely check that out. We'll get that in the chat there soon. And last but not least, if you are not subscribed to us, go ahead and feel free to subscribe. We'll also include that link inside the chat. Herbalist-lounge.mailchimp sites. It allows you to be able to get a notification, just a little gentle reminder. Hey, Herbalist Lounge is coming up. We don't flood your inbox with a bunch of stuff. We'll let you know of our upcoming events and all things plant tea and herby. So go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss a beat. All right.
Thanks, Sahat, for this for the name. This mushroom is so pretty. I just want some because of the color.
All right. Before it gets too loud, I just want to say thank y'all for 11 years. It's been beautiful. It's been wonderful. And, just wishing us a whole nother decade and some change.
Yeah, man, for real. It's our birthday, by the way. It's our birthday today, y'all. What we gonna do? I'm about to go to sleep.
We about to go.
I'm gonna do
Asiatica.
That's what I said. I'm about to do a deep dive on this Lamoa Asiatica.
All right, that sounds good. And then when you come back, you can go ahead and share it with us and let us know all about it. But listen, man, for real, it was such an honor to be with each and every one of you all that came out to celebrate our birthday and, do what we do all the time, which because every day is our birthday, because, every day, like Asia said, you come across tons of different plants, and whether it be on the side of a concrete jungle, or in the Florida wetlands with the alligators, crossing across your paths or whatnot. They're out here, and yeah, it's an honor. So let's keep on doing this. And I'm looking forward to the many years to come and all the beautiful things that we will do and continue to do. Thank you, Spice Sisters, by the way. I love both of y'all.
Yes. and look, we appreciate y'all. We appreciate what we do together and our synergism, and we appreciate the people that join us here in the Herbalist Lounge. It just makes it great for us.
All right. Well, you guys have a beautiful rest of your evening, and until next month, peace, power, and green blessings.
Green blessings.
Peace.